We are going to eventually get to a point where you're going to have one big league, which is going to be the powerful schools. It's going to be the ones that have the money that people want to play for, that has the contracts. Division One, like it used to be, and then you're going to have Division Two, which is going to be the secondary schools that simply can't compete, can't spend the money. They're going to have to compete amongst themselves, and we're going to go back to having a national champion. Here's the big guys, and a national champion with the little guys. That's just the way it's got to be.
Well,
But do you do this across the board? I mean, do you do this with every sport? I mean, let's say you create
Good
a
question.
mega conference for football, but do you do the same for baseball? Do you do the same thing for soccer and all that? Because how do you create other conferences, or how do those schools compete if they're not in a conference?
Fair. No,
Yeah.
it's fair. I don't know the answer to that, but I'm saying Pete is right when he says that college football rules the world when it comes to the universities. Absolutely,
Yeah.
without question.
Yeah.
And a few schools, maybe college basketball. So if college football rules the world, you have to then take them and make them different. They're separate. You can't include them with everybody else anymore. They're the unique faction. They're the big daddy.
yeah, and again, Power Five basketball conferences can be a little different than Power Five football conferences. I mean, it's the Big East is certainly one of the best basketball conferences in the country. Still mostly Northeast, some Midwest Catholic schools. I get it, but I'd hate to see. I mean, then what do you do? You got to keep basketball kind of separate. I think March Madness is one of the greatest things on the planet. It's one of my favorite sporting events of the year.
The gamblers certainly agree.
Everybody has a chance. Now it's much more the playing field, and when we've seen the last 2 out of 3 years, a 16-1. The playing field, even though all the top schools, and it's never all the 4 number 1 seeds. But getting back to football, eventually, Ed, I think we're going to have. It's a few years down the road. It's probably going to be 2 major conferences. That's what it's going to be, and then the mid majors form. The group of 5 form their own league, and maybe the winner of the group of 5 tournament, whatever they do, maybe they get into the college football playoff when it becomes 16 teams.